Welcome everyone, it's Vapor Strigmar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. We are going to be continuing up the tower to do some maniacal things. Last time we had beaten the final Nether Spider. For that. Gonna keep blasting through here. I've not been doing my Doom Tower duty here. The thing that's crazy about Vizier, it's always hard to corner the little sucker. I'm gonna keep chugging down these tracks. Yep. Gonna keep going. Gotta keep controlling it. I hate the fact there's all these Ignatiuses in here. This does not make my job easier. And if you're asking, can Syl probably solo all that? The answer is a resounding yes. Syl is stronger than she might look. Although I like to add in damage, she can actually clear some Doom Tower floors by herself. It is a reality that may shock some whales, who like to discredit the fact that Syl of the Drakes is actually a good champion. Some whales would like you to believe that Syl of the Drakes is an inferior champion. I am here to inform you that is not the case on any level. Not really. I mean, I know Sifi is technically better. And you want to know why Sifi is better? Because Sifi has speed and a buff. A special buff. She has an increased defense debuff. In fact, I would not be surprised if you could pair Sifi with Syl, would be even more overpowered, because what would happen is, right, the Sifi would buff the Syl, and then the Syl would smack. Now you'd be laughing until you figure out that Syl's damage multipliers are actually not trash. So when Syl smacks with Sifi's aid, that's not going to be fun for you. She's going to hit you really, really hard. And then we'll see who's laughing. So yes, if you're asking, is there a better reviver? Yes, but not really for the barbarian. She's one of the best. She's the best barbarian faction reviver. Best in class of that. However, that does not mean well, best in class other than Sky Touched. I guess Sky Touched is technically better if they're in the barbarian faction, but other than a Void Epic, that, like, she's the best easy to get one. I'll put it that way. Unless you're lucky. If you're lucky and get Sky Touch Shaman, go for it. But most of them aren't going to be fortunate enough to do that. This is going to be a rough Sacred Room, I can tell you that right now. I can tell you that right now. And you're like, what? Why? Do you know how hard Cupid is to deal with? Do you guys have any clue? I'll give you an idea. Really hard. Really hard to deal with. I don't envy the task. I mean, maybe if I maxed my mother's superior or something, but I do not envy the idea. We can try it after we make some more progress. This is going to be a bit rough. The only good news, right, is that I don't see... Like, he doesn't block revive, right? If he blocked revive like Mortu Macabre, we'd be in for some annoying business. Alright, so our keys did refresh halfway through. But I expected that, kinda. We're gonna keep going to get to the boss. As I had a lot to do, especially the Forge Pass. I hate the Forge Pass. And other things to do today, and I got tired, so... Yeah. There we go. Most wiped out. Gotta get him low. These enemies are so tanky, it boggles the mind. There's a reason why it's going to take a while for me to even get up all of these flights of steps. Going this way. Deal with that. Okay, this, I'm going to need something special to deal with this. This is not as easy as it looks, by the way, and I want to point this out very obviously. Because this floor is very much this floor, if you make a mistake like that, is very easy to fail. There's a very specific reason I brought Gnarlhorn in here. I brought Gnarlhorn in here because he's got a specific job to do. I do use him occasionally outside of this dungeon, but he's got a specific job to do. Hopefully they target him. Hopefully this will be enough damage to deal with the last floor, because I'm not repeating that. Well, we're in for a painful long session now. If at all. I think we're dead. We might need to do a special strat. I'm beginning to really, really hate this floor. And I don't even remember entirely what I did to defeat this floor either. And just in case it had something to do with Paragon, I'm going to include him. Actually, it did not. Okay, so we're going to try this mix. Is the main problem, right, is those Mortu Macabres. I forgot what I did to beat this floor. We're going to take those out of the equation first. Because otherwise we're getting nowhere. Go for her first. And then we can start going into the mix. See, the main objective here, right, is to deal with the sky touched. Because the Sky Touched is what's going to give the biggest issue. Because the cycle of revenge doesn't truly begin until the Sky Touch start getting involved. Now, the purpose of the Death Knight here is to stop my damage dealers from getting perilled. That is his new role, see? This may seem at first to be trivial, but it is, in fact, not trivial. Now, there are several teams you can use for this, but since I am free to play and this dragon is an absolute horror and a half, I have made this specific team to fight this dragon that has a specific amount of roles that have to be filled. Because this dragon is actually a massive, massive, massive headache. And I don't want it to be more of a headache than it has to be. Because I have other games and other things to do. Rather than make this dragon any harder than it has to be before I have to do the final gauntlet to get to the top of the tower. And the top of the tower is incredibly painful. I will do the secret room at some other point. Because I have to get on schedule with the CP tonight. Keeping the dragon provoked is, by all means, a very important task indeed. You do not want... I want to try to keep this dragon provoked at all times. As it will provide the heals, and then that'll provide the decrease attack. We can't decrease it, but we can enemy max HP this boss. Though provoke remains the most important mechanic, but it's very hard to get it consistent due to accuracy issues. Maybe not at this affinity, but on force affinity, it's harder to provoke it. Provoke is essential against this boss. Do not, and I repeat, do not go into this boss without having a provoke. You will fail and be very sad. Because this boss is, it's practically mandatory to have a single target, high chance provoke, or you're dead. That is the solemn fact. about this boss. Also a solemn fact is that in terms of this boss, right? This boss is one of the few bosses that actually wipes Syl off the map and forces Godseeker to act as the backup. Yeah, that's how hard this boss hits for. The Vogoth is here to soak up the main hit so that the whole team doesn't instantly wipe. Coldheart is the damage dealer. Although her damage is not the best, she's there because she's going to do a lot of damage to the boss every 3 turns or so, with intermediate to mild damage the rest of the time. I mean, 80k every 3 turns is not the best, but we can't burn this boss to death for one thing. We have to enemy max HP or poison it. You can't... I could try a team comp with Zavia as a damage dealer, but that's still risky. The rest of this support is practically mandatory due to how hard this boss hits. Like a freight train. Like an actual freight train. Like, without like strong peel, this boss will ruin you. Straight up. Man-Eater might work if I could get a Man-Eater, but I don't have one. Demetha's block damage, as far as I'm concerned, this boss completely ignores it. Ugh. Which doesn't help me. Art of Pain doesn't exactly do the job I want it to do. As you can see, the second it stops getting provoked, we start getting into some very dangerous territory, whereby the boss can do some very real and very painful damage to us. And that ultimately is why you need a provoke. You need a provoke because the amount of damage... Like, it can just wipe your whole team without a provoke at this level. Like, it has no mercy. This is floor 110 Magma Dragon. And as sure as this episode's gonna be, I'm telling you, it is exhausting fighting this Magma Dragon. Like, genuinely exhausting. There we go. And we got a rank 5 chicken, and next time I'll be climbing further up. And that's the top of the tower right there. Mm-hmm. Might as well collect my 2 daily logins. It's not that short. It's 40 minutes. I'm telling you, Doom Tower eats time. Like, you think you're not there for very long, but you are. You are there because the tower is literally that much of a grind that if you want to make any progress at all, well, time to shove someone else in there. But who? How about him? All right, we will see you next time. Oh, yeah, and before you think I wasn't thinking about this tower, I did grind up to this spider.